Hey there, it's Leslie at Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and today I'm going to be making these beginner-friendly tint cookies that you can take on your next camping trip. All of the supplies will be listed in the description, but I'm starting with a brown royal icing in about a 15-second consistency, and I'm just going to squeeze some on and then take a dampened paintbrush and paint it over the tint opening. Then I'm going to grab my green royal icing in a 15-second consistency and outline the side portion of the tint, and then I will flood that in using the exact same icing. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I don't want to run the risk of this icing overflowing the edge, so I'll use a scribe, or you can also use a toothpick to get the icing out to the edge and into any corners. Once I've finished that, I'll put the cookie aside to dry for at least 10 minutes, and then I'll go back and flood in the front of the cookie. So following the same process, I'm going to outline the front going around the opening in the tint, and then I will flood that in. Again, using my scribe to get the icing out to the corners and settle it down. If you find that you can't move your icing around with your scribe, then you probably need to add more icing to your flooded area. So I let my cookie dry overnight at this point, and now I'm going to go back and add in the tint flaps. You probably can go ahead and pipe in these tint flaps without letting it dry quite as long as I did, but this is how I prefer to work. I add all my final details usually the next day. But as long as your base layer has crusted over, you can probably go ahead and add the tint flaps to your cookie after letting it dry for maybe an hour or so. But just go ahead and pipe a little triangle here and flood that in. If you're worried about craters, you can put a squiggle of icing down the middle, and then you're going to want to set this cookie in front of a fan or in a dehydrator to dry, again hoping to prevent craters by having it crust over quickly. Next, I added a line going up from the tint flaps to the center of the top of the tint, and I'm going to go ahead and put a string of lights over here on the side of the tint. I'm using my brown icing in a 15-second consistency to make the string. I'm going to let that dry for about 10 minutes and then go back in and pipe little white dots for the lights. The white icing is also a 15-second consistency. And the mini tint cookies are done. They're super cute, super fast and easy to make. I hope that you make some. Let me know in the comments what you think and if you're going to make any for your next camping trip. And be sure to check out the other videos in this series. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. I have new tutorials every week. And if there's something that you'd like to learn how to do, leave me a note in the comments.